Welcome to VoiceOver 101.
Welcome back to VoiceOver 101. I have a repeat guest, my first repeat guest.
Hi.
I haven't had Rob PAULSEN on but once. It was really dark. The quality wasn't very good, but so many people watched it and so many people commented. I had to have him back on because he's doing so much more new stuff
Thanks,
now.
buddy.
This thing right here.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing a new live show now. So you guys can actually interact. So talk about Patreon and how this works.
Thank you. Yeah, well, Patreon is this really cool funding platform for artists. It's called Patreon, P-A-T-R-E-O-N. I'm sure it's some permutation of patron of the arts, which is very cool. And it allows people like me to seek funding for their projects. So for as little as $1 a month,
For as little as $1
as a little $1 a month, you can help a middle-aged white guy like me who's really struggling. But no, the cool thing is that whether it's me or anybody else, please check out Patreon.com, Patreon.com, because it allows you to find new artists or old artists who are seeking to do new things and help fund their projects for as little as $1 a month, and it's a month-to-month. You can do it as much or as little as you want for as long as you want. And in our case, my producer James Cluster and my
the guy holding the camera.
The guy holding the camera. My girl Friday, James Cluster, and Pat Brady, who produces the Talkin' Tunes live show at the Improv. We've thought, you know what? We're getting 50,000 listens a month on my little podcast with zero professional promotion. It's all word of mouth. For those of you who are aware of the Talkin' Tunes podcast on iTunes or Rob PAULSEN Live, thank you for listening. If you're not, you'll love it because it's got really great folks talking about cartoons, and we're all voice actors and what we do. Totally free, but we just think there's another step to this. We believe that there is a TV version of this that is doable. So with Patreon, we have little milestones at which you, at certain points, you decide to, you give the fans ringtones and, like, hey, Dad, I was Pinky. I'm Pinky. Hey, Dad, your phone is ringing. Pick it up. Nerf, that kind of thing. So, for certain things you get, for $1, you get the podcast that we do right away instead of waiting a week and a half for it. We have special things that only for Patreon subscribers. But when we reach certain milestones,
that's the
perks,
word.
Right?
Perks, yeah. It's a little bit like Kickstarter,
right? Like Kickstarter, but it is it's kind of instantaneous in our case, and that is that we already have a successful podcast. But if you're a Patreon subscriber, you get the podcast like right away, instead of waiting for it. And we also do Patreon-specific podcasts for subscribers of our Patreon project here every month. Ringtones, autograph things.
So that's the exclusive content.
There is exclusive content. And then the idea is to reach certain milestones. Like now we've reached a $2,000 a month milestone. So we're doing Google Hangouts every month. We're going to do 5 of them in the month of May. And that usually consists of me taking questions from the Patreon subscribers, watching an episode like today. We just watched an episode of Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain, and I comment on that and take questions about that. And we'll be doing that with other actors in the future. And then once we reach a certain higher level, we'll be able to actually, I think, shoot a really kick-ass pilot. And I believe that there's a way to get this thing on television, whether it's cable or...
Jim Meskimen got his show on Pop TV with Impress
And
Me,
he's fantastic. And, because John is a professional voice actor and does this kind of stuff, the show, as much as we love what ends up on television, the show is being in the room with all these freaking talented actors. So that's one of the reasons that we're doing this Patreon thing. And you know what? Irrespective of what happens, we're having so much fun. And whether you support me or not, please check out Patreon because there are a lot of really talented people out there that deserve your input, your support, and a couple of bucks to the extent that it's doable. And if it's not, then don't do it. And then find something else and support them that way. But it's a really cool platform. So thank you for letting me plug it.
And where can they find the live stream, James?
Yeah, James is here.
What websites do we need to have?
If they go to patreon.com/YakkoPinky,
okay,
they can sign up for Patreon, and everything will be there. All the perks, the hangouts are through there.
Cool. Patreon.com.
Yeah.
/YakkoPinky.
Yakko Pinky.
Yakko Pinky.
Narf. Yeah, so please check it out. It's a lot of fun.
And you also finally have a book in the works.
I do.
About freaking time.
Yeah, well, thanks, man.
The line's been forming at Barnes & Noble for about 15 years.
Yeah, well, I hope they don't hold their breaths.
They've been putting it out before my book.
Thanks, baby. Brad Garrett was
When
our
the balls
guest.
drop.
Yeah, our friend Brad Garrett was on my podcast last Tuesday. And for those of you who are not Patreon subscribers, it will be on iTunes within about a week. But if you are a Patreon subscriber, and if you become one now, for as little as $1 a month, you get that podcast right away. And Brad was freaking hysterical. He was so fantastic. We do that once a month at the Improv in Hollywood. And yeah, on the podcast now, we've had Mark Hamill.
Podcast is going really strong.
It's going great. Debbie Derryberry.
Well, I just saw it today.
Yeah, you were working with her. Maurice LaMarche, Jim Eskerman, Tom Kenny, who is SpongeBob, Clancy Brown, Jeff Bennett, Tress McNeil. I mean, it's Tara Strong. They've all been on. And find a way to get John Bailey on there too one of these days.
Thank you.
Yeah, it would be cool.
That would be like that would be.
Oh man, it'd be my pleasure. But check it out. It's called Talkin' Tunes, TALKIN''TOONS, and you can find it at Rob Paulsen Live or iTunes, and on and special one-on-one podcasts only for Patreon subscribers. So check that out too.
Oh, and I meant to say this earlier, but no, you ain't old.
Oh,
my first interaction with Rob,
old.
which you probably won't even remember. I can't remember if it was Twitter or Facebook. I think it was Facebook. I asked him if I sent him in a message. I said, "Were you bitten by Dick Clark when you were a kid?"
Thank you, buddy.
He was like, what? Do you remember what you said back?
I don't know what.
You
no.
said you did the act for the Last Supper.
Yeah, I said I was the entertainment at the Last Supper. In those days, I was Shecky of Arimathea. And, of course, I said, Jesus, what a party. Yeah, but many of you have already heard that, too. But listen, man, I'm really lucky. I was talking about somebody about this today. I've been making my living as a performer this is my 40th year. I started professionally when I was 19, and I'm 59. And to be able to go to work every day and do essentially what got you in trouble in 7th grade, hang out with your friends and make new friends and
make fun of your teachers' voices.
Yeah, man, and get paid American dollars. I am incredibly fortunate.
Since you were at the Last Supper, did you see what happened at the end where each one came up to saying, "Jesus, is it me?" And he said, "No, it's not you." And then Judas came up and said, "Jesus, is it me?" And Jesus says, "Jesus, is it me?"
Yeah, it was Judas.
Yeah,
it was Judas who came up and said, "Is it I, O Lord? Is it I, O Lord?" Yeah. And I thought Judas actually was pretty cool. He was very talented. He did this really great rendition of Backstabbers as a karaoke thing, which was maybe not the best choice.
And he did a lot of investing in silver, but it just didn't work for him.
But no, man, it's been an incredible joy. And the cool thing, of course, about what we do is that nobody cares what you look like, which is great for me because I have a face for voiceover. But
Tim Curry used to talk about just walking in the studio and it's basically his pajamas.
His pajamas, yeah. And I had the great fortune of working with Tim on many things: The Mask and Wild Thornberries and.
Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron, lots of cool stuff.
Last thing I'm going to ask you about is because this is how cool this guy is. He also does stuff for charity for the. Vets.
Well, thank you for mentioning that. I mean, we all do, and everybody is so generous. But I have a huge spot in my heart for the military. I'm so appreciative of the military, and to me, I don't care what your politics are. We have an all. That, by the way, is James.
That's James's little
beautiful wife's son in the background. There was a very handsome young man.
Whose mama is the daughter of Cobra Commander.
Right.
How cool.
That's right. And the much prettier version of Cobra Commander. That's right. Abby.
If Cobra Commander was a ginger.
Yeah. How about that? Who knew? I have a desperately huge place in my heart for the military because my feeling is that irrespective of your politics, we have an all-volunteer military. And the best and brightest of us go and do things that none of us have the talent or the guts to do, and they do it without even questioning. So I'm very proud of my association with the military, and I at my website, Rob Paulsen Live, you can get an autographed picture of me and a number of my characters. It's $25. Every nickel goes to the two charities I support, which is the Wounded Warriors, and the other one is Operation Smile. Please check it out. It is a phenomenal charity, which it's kind of like Doctors Without Borders. It allows these really gifted world-class maxillofacial surgeons to repair the cleft palates and basically the holes in the faces of children around the world who otherwise wouldn't be able to have that kind of surgery. And for about $300 worth of stuff in the hands of one of these incredibly gifted surgeons, they'll go all over the world and fix the cleft palates of these children who would otherwise be relegated to sort of the trash heap of their respective countries, you know?
Yeah, plus made fun of their entire
Yeah,
lives.
and so, man, our job is really to make people laugh. So what better than to be able to help a child literally smile so that they can laugh at our work? It's a win-win. So please check out Wounded Warriors Project and the Wounded Warrior Project and Operation Smile. And if you'd like to get a little something in the bargain, then go to robpaulsenlive.com, and James will see to it that I get that information. I'll sign a picture, and the $25, every nickel, goes to the charity. So thanks for that.
And I'm a big supporter of autism awareness.
Thank you, pal. I do too. I have who lives a mile from here. I have an autistic nephew who literally lives 1 mile from here, and I'm a big supporter.
I was unaware.
Keep it blue, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hopefully hook you up. I do a Voices for Autism video, and I've had so
I
many
would
great
love
voice
to.
actors have helped out.
Yeah,
with
my youngest sister's firstborn child, my beautiful Andrew, my nephew Andrew, who literally lives less than a mile from here in Newberry Park, California, is autistic, and we are so proud of that boy and the job that my little sister and her husband Dave have done. The leaps and bounds that have been made with respect to autism are astonishing.
yeah.
So thank you, because I would love to contribute.
That's awesome. Thank
Please
you very
call
much.
me. Yeah.
I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my
for being
friend.
back.
Not at all.
I've never
It's
had a
my
repeat
pleasure.
guest before.
Wow. I repeat
And
a
you
lot
can
just
actually
because
see
I
this
eat
video.
spicy food. But thank you for
Yeah, you
having
can
me.
hear more than that when he eats spicy
How
food.
talented is this guy? I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. No, thanks, pal. Pleasure.
so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
If you like this video, share it and click subscribe. Click here for more VO101. Click here for more imitation gaming videos. Click here for more epic voice reviews.